On today's podcast, we have Netta, a very good friend of ours. She actually, we've known her since she was really little. She's a generation behind us.
Yep.
But she decided she wanted to pop in and talk about, certain problems that everybody faces in North Minneapolis, along with gang violence, social equality, and the problems that teenagers face currently here in the city.
And also what can be done, if anything, to change any current situation that's going on. Also gives us a little highlight of our neighborhood and
paints a little map of the area for us.
Yeah.
So, thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoy this episode. It's a very special one to us.
Yep. And like always, enjoy the podcast.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Okay.
So how's it going, Netta?
I'm good.
So how's it been?
Good.
What's new with you? You still writing?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording. We're just talking right now.
Yeah.
Trying to get into the conversation.
Okay.
So yeah. I mean, we don't even need to pretend this is here.
Okay, so Sprout said these are made out of bones.
Bones?
Yeah.
Yeah, marshmallows. It was like ground up.
It's the marrow and stuff, or the what is it called? The collagen in it, or the connective tissue, or whatever it breaks down, makes like
cartilage?
jello. The cartilage. It makes like a slime, not a slime, but a gelatin.
Yeah.
Gelatin
Like jello
comes
in
from
particular is like
animal
from like
bones.
animal bones and shit.
Things like that. Yeah. You can make them.
And I was saying like,
No,
oh
legit,
shit,
bro.
there might be people bones in
You
there.
eat
never
steak,
know.
yeah?
Yeah, but gelatin.
Comes from
You
steak
eat
fat.
jello, right? You eat like pudding and shit?
No, I don't like
Oh,
bones.
okay. Well, yeah, it's good.
I
though.
think weird people eat that.
Then I'm weird as fuck.
I hate jello. I like
Me some
jello.
Jell-O.
I like some green apple jello.
Green apple jello.
But it has the same contact.
Yeah.
The gelatin.
So as the gelatin.
It,
So,
de-
I mean, the
it just does
marshmallows-
depend on where the gelatin. You can get gelatin from gooseberries and a few other things too. So I mean, but yeah. So we found out you're turned off by marshmallows now.
Oh, they were smacking, and then y'all
But you'll still be
just...
fucking with Starburst tomorrow.
I don't eat a lot of candy.
If you were to fuck with candy, like what would be like your go-to pick?
Take 5 bars. And
Take 5.
Skittles.
Take
and
5.
pickles.
Ain't that like old people candy?
No, man, it's a pretzel covered with chocolate and nuts and peanut butter.
Am I thinking
and
about
caramel.
Heath bars?
I think
I don't
you
like
know.
Heath bars.
I like Heath bars.
Yeah,
Those
Heath
are
bars are definitely old people candy.
Heath bars are like a less kid-friendly peanut. What is that thing?
Peanut butter cup. Peanut brittle.
No, Butterfinger. There you go.
I hate Butterfingers.
I'm not a real big Butterfinger fan.
I like
either.
Butterfinger.
It's
I'm a
nasty.
motherfucker.
I
But I
will
do
not
like
lay
a
a single
Butterfinger
finger on the
shake.
Butterfinger.
But they sell all of this shit in all of these corner stores, all that bad food.
Yeah.
And you notice, like,
You remember that tweet from like about a month ago?
yeah,
It was a them drumsticks, the little waffle cone with the nuts and shit on top. It was literally the healthiest thing I found in the whole gas station over there on 26th and Penn.
but you go to the gas stations outside around here, dude. They got all kinds of fucking
Yeah,
healthy shit,
salads
fresh
and
food.
boiled eggs and fucking
Fresh
fresh
food.
sandwiches.
Bodegas, they're secretly trafficking coke.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
They
The
just
neighborhood.
need something there to keep the cops off their back.
Yeah, I think that's a good front. I mean, what do you think else is a
This
heroin?
first
and all that
station was a
shit?
front. They used to let all the fucking weed dealers just kick it there. like,
Well,
all
most
the
of the
time.
heroin comes from the Middle East and shit. And we got a big old heroin influx lately, and you notice the hood's been a little crazy.
Wait, there's heroin in the hood now?
Man,
The
you ain't heard about all the
I knew
heroin?
it was like downtown and shit like that.
Afghanistan was only distributing approximately like 2% of the heroin worldwide, and then after we invaded or after we went over there to help, 80% now comes from there. And we just so happened to go in November, which is their poppy seed.
So was it like our soldiers smuggling it?
Their poppy seed
I think it's-
harvesting time.
I think there's a lot of ends over there. They got oil, they got, military advantage points, they got the heroin industry, they got building industry, like rebuilding. That's like billions of dollars.
Like the fucking Burj Khalifa.
Yeah, all this stuff.
They were like, you know what? America can't have the tallest building in the world anymore. Right? Burj Khalifa.
But yeah, so they got all these and blowing up and rebuilding shit. They got that whole thing. Dick Cheney's company rebuilt fucking Iraq and Iran and all that, whatever.
And it fucking owns everything.
But-
Everything.
But here, like you notice in the cities, like where they come from, Yeah, Sprout's the little geisha thing.
Yeah, you got a cigarette holder?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a classy nigga.
That made me
He
think
comes
about,
over with his own
like,
wine glass.
with the old women and like they just pop it open. It's like
Yeah, he
With
just
their
needs
long
the
ass,
filter.
like, Cruella DeVille cigarette holder and shit.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm about to kill me some puppies tonight.
Oh, I was talking about stomping on puppies at work today.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, my tagline on my MySpace, this is how old I am. My tagline on my MySpace used to be stomping on puppies in high definition.
That's so funny.
So fucked up.
But yeah, to get back to this fucking shitty food in the city, like, I mean, I think it's part of the whole idea. Nobody's trying to bring fresh food here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I notice a lot of these community gardens popping up and all over the fucking place. I see people trying to gentrify the neighborhood, but at the same time, it's so fucking terrible right now. Like, last night alone, we heard gunshots in the middle of...
Yeah, they were like a few blocks off this way.
When we were doing a podcast, it went off. And
yeah,
then
that's
when
what I was
you
talking
left-
about. And then, so me and Raekwon were walking home from the studio,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, what, a 6-8 block difference
Mm-hmm.
between the two of us. And we got, like, that one first block when you're going west towards my house. We got, like, that one block away from my house, and you heard, pow, 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 pow. We're, like, right on the corner, a block from my house. So we were like, yep, it's time to fucking walk faster. And so we were like power walking, like those mall walkers you see at like 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we got to my house, and I pulled out my keys. We get in. I called the police because that's what responsible adults do. And they were like, you might have seen my tweet about this actually. They were like, yeah, well, we'll send somebody out that way. We'll take a look. So me and Raekwon thought that they meant that they were going to come to my house. And they never come to my house when I report gunshots. So, like, I thought that was really weird. So I sat outside for, like, had to have been 35 minutes. I didn't see a single squad car in the area where I reported that I seen the gunshots. And I can see where we heard the gunshots, like, visibly from my house, because I'm also on the corner that we were standing on. Well, not on, I'm parallel to the corner that we were standing on.
Yeah.
So,
It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gotten really.
I don't know.
crazy.
Northside's gotten really crazy. Just in this year alone, it's like it's almost like the 90s again.
I think I don't know. Like, Netta would know more about like the teenagers around here because I mean she's not far removed from
Yeah.
being in high school. She's
Well, you know,
just
Ray's
10,
like
18.
20.
Yeah.
And, you know, Data, our mutual friend, he up until just recently was living on the lows over north. I'm on the lows over north. And, like, we've seen and heard some shit and, like, heard of shit happening between where I live and where Data and Ray lives at. So,
Well, I mean, it's interesting like how close to home some of these things can get. Me personally, I don't have very many friends that are involved in what's going on. So
yeah.
I might live in the neighborhood and things might be happening around my house, but as far as I know what's going on, I have no fucking clue.
We don't know what's going on until it happens, essentially.
Well, yeah, I mean, but there's no help. I don't think there's anybody trying to help these kids figure out what they should do with themselves. I mean, if you ask Netta, I mean, these kids...
Let's ask Netta.
Yeah, like, what do you think is keeping these kids on this path, or what is it that just makes them go downhill, or is it just like a cycle, or?
it's a cycle. My opinion that it's a cycle, and these type of cycles are hard to stop because they're so used to doing it all the time, and it's all
Going
they
on for
know.
generations.
And it's like it's kind of like the mouse thing you were telling me, and it's like no one's ever stopped to for another mouse to go to the cheese door. It's always they go to the electricity door.
Yeah.
So it's a repetitive thing, and no one is stopping to help them, or no one's even stopping to not. Their older friends, their big homies, are not stopping to be like, they put a gun in their hand and they just go do what they want. And it's like, but for every call, for everything, there's a reaction. What you put out there is what you get back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you put negativity out there and harm towards people, you're going to get harm back towards you.
Right.
And everyone's taking it so personal, but they don't take it personal when they do it to another person. It's all just off of hate for each other and disrespect and just dead friends and just hurt and offending you know, when they lose their friends, they feel abandoned and lost, which is sad because, like, they have brothers and sisters and moms, but
Right.
pretty soon their parents just do what they do. Like, I don't think people take into account that us 90 kids, our parents were drug dealers and gang members, especially in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, so it's like
It's
people talk so much stuff, but in the 90s, when the Vice Lords came to Minnesota, there was a huge feud between the Vice Lords and everyone else here. And at this time, we were like 97 to 2000 is kind of where it slowed down, but we were like 4, 3. So it's like we remember these things. You know, a lot of us seen and heard and lost fathers to that during their, and our parents were really young when they had us, so they didn't kind of do any better. So it's like being a product of your environment. A lot of people are.
Oh, right. I think exactly, because you don't come from where a person's doing this or that, and you know, their opportunities aren't all fucking.
So
right
is it like safe to say that it's a combination of nature and nurture? It's not
Oh,
like
I think
nature
it's
versus nurture.
the environment itself isn't made for success. I mean, you look around the neighborhood, everybody has to go outside of the fucking neighborhood to get
totally.
a job, and then on top of
Or
that,
to
the
even
job.
live decently.
Yeah.
Like there were times where I did live outside of the neighborhood.
Well, I mean,
and it
even
was
if you
nice,
live in
but
the
I don't-
neighborhood, you
it was
can make it
uncomfortable
nice.
at the same
You-
time.
Like, okay, you can make it nice. Okay, look what we're doing here. We're trying to make it as nice as possible. We're over north. I have a decent job, but I've had to do this my entire life. Like, physically hard manual
We literally
labor.
drove 45 minutes away
Yeah,
to earn some money.
Yeah.
Was it like 3-4 weeks ago?
yeah.
And we could
Yeah.
be doing that here, and nobody wants it. And
But
nobody's
nobody can
offering
afford it.
Yeah,
either,
exactly.
You know what I mean? But that's it. There's no jobs in the neighborhood. I mean, how many fucking McDonald's are in the neighborhood? 1 or 2. You got one on Broadway. You got one on Linden.
We have
My
literally
thing
one
with
Cub
that
Foods
is,
in
There's
North
not enough
Minneapolis.
how is a mother with 3 kids going to survive off of minimum wage?
You're not.
You're not. Well,
I'm-
that's
You're not.
the thing.
And Social
And-
Security cuts you. I mean, not Social
Yeah.
Security, food stamps
Yeah.
and public housing and all that. After you make a certain amount of money,
Yeah, they cut you.
get cut off, and it's like, how can you put a limit on being broke?
We have that same
And
situation.
the only
going
time
on
that
with
you get
James.
to like extend those kind of benefits is if you can prove without a shadow of a doubt that you're able to maintain them. Like,
Right.
oh well, I get SSI now. Then they're like, well, you're fucked.
That's why
You know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
that.
And then like they're on the flip side of that coin, you know. And I'm kind of living this life because I have a son who I don't live with. So now you got dudes who are making close to minimum wage, if not minimum wage, and they can't afford to live because all their money's going to child support.
Right.
Because you have to pay a set amount per month for child support.
Right.
And I'm not against paying child support. I pay my child support because that's what responsible parents do. And I'm maintaining somehow, but it's because I have to work my ass off to do it.
Right.
And most other people who are like well off for themselves and live with their children don't have to fucking do that shit. Like they just fucking pool their resources together and they're alright. But
But as far as what I'm saying is, like, the opportunities aren't as easy. Like, getting a job, you have to leave outside of the city. The gas stations here, there's only a few gas stations.
we
in
have
the
like the big name gas stations. We
No,
have
I'm
like
just
a
period.
couple of them.
I'm just
All of
talking
day,
about
that's it,
period.
that's it.
And even
Where's
like,
their SA at over
outside, it's
Right,
right
it's
outside.
outside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
just
they're-
outside the north side, you know.
here? But it's not on the north side. We
Well,
haven't had an SA on the north side since I lived over in the Jordan
And I'm just
neighborhood.
talking about any local owned, like, okay,
Locally owned gas stations, they won't hire anyone from the neighborhood. They
They
hire
won't.
their own
They're
family.
family owned.
exactly,
yeah.
yeah, everything's family owned, and most of these families don't even live in the north side.
That's why one of my goals is to open up some kind of shop over north where I can hire people who actually live.
Well,
in
there's
the
a
neighborhood
problem. There's a
because-
problem with a lot of that. When people do get businesses that are locally owned, not every one of them are straight shooters. You know, they're using them for fronts. So then you got people who got front businesses. You got people from outside running businesses, but you hardly get anybody who's trying to do a legitimate thing in the neighborhood.
Mhm.
And when it does happen, nobody fucking goes because they're already outside the neighborhood doing all their shopping and shit. Plus, everything's more expensive when it's mom
Well,
and
it's
pop.
a matter about what you want to sell too.
Well, it's more expensive if it's mom and pop, you know? It's always that way because they can't buy mass quantities and distribute like
Well,
Walmart.
they
or-
also get charged a different price too. Like when they're getting their products, they
Yeah.
get charged higher for certain types of.
Yeah.
food or whatever drinks that they have and all that other
Because
shit. Like the
they
guys
can't
right up there at the corner store. He was like, I don't try to charge you so much. He was like, but this is what I get charged. And it's like they hike up the price on purpose for the smaller business.
Well, because they get taxed by the government, and they also get taxed when they have to apply for their licenses to be able to sell those kind of things.
That, and they have to pay for delivery taxes in the inner city, and on top of that, the wages, they can't buy the same masses. Like Walmart can buy like 1 billion bottles of water for 50 cents a
and the
bottle.
more you buy, the cheaper your order.
Yeah, exactly. Over
becomes.
here, it's like $1 a bottle for them to buy it and make a profit. You know, they have to be able to cover their overhead.
So that little
And how many
$99
people in the
bottle of
hood, you know,
Dasani
drink
is like
water?
fucking $3.
So that's
now.
why everybody's an entrepreneur in the city. They're fucking running around scrapping, they're
Or actually pay for
bootlegging,
water.
they're living outside the city or working outside the city, fucking stretching their means just to survive, or they got to do what they got to do to make money. And then you got
those cats
schools
who
who ain't teaching shit.
Yeah,
I remember
nothing.
going to North.
Well, look, I
motherfuckers are
just
doing
seen
basic arithmetic
XQ
at ninth
America.
grade, dude. I couldn't
XQ
believe that
America.
shit.
You guys should follow these dudes on Twitter because they're onto some shit. There's this like short little documentary that they have pinned to their Twitter profile, and it's basically talking about how when the public school system first started, it was made for. You remember how we had the conversation a while back about back in the day, kids were being raised to be adults like early as fuck, and so like, public schools were like pre-factories because that was mostly what we had was like factories. It was either factories or agriculture, and a lot of the kids who needed this kind of education to work outside of agriculture needed to like be in like a pre-factory. So you memorized a bunch of facts and you fucking had to like switch subjects at the sound of a shrill bell and this, that, and the third. And if you look at a lot of these older schools, like Edison, it looks like a little tiny factory. And that's kind of how the Old North was like that too. And so like you go from one factory to the other essentially. You didn't have to fucking go to college. You just didn't have to. It was an option.
Yeah.
And now it's like if you want any kind of like moderate success, and I put mad emphasis on moderate, you have to go to college. And even when you go to college for what you want to go to college for, you have a very slim chance of actually doing what you want to do. And it should not be like that. And so what XQ America is saying is that we should change the format of the public school system entirely.
Yeah.
Stop making them into little pre-factories. Start hiring the best and brightest of our minds and artists and scholars. Put them in the school system and teach our kids what they actually need to learn to be successful in the future.
Right.
Because right now we're just fucking ourselves.
I think though those teachers need to have real world experience first because you get.
That's why I'm all for XQ America because I want to do that shit, dude. I've been out there and I've done things in the world, and as an artist I've had some moderate success in the last year, and I'd like for that to continue. So if that's an option for me, I can maybe try to get some kind of teaching license.
I just don't want no fucking super idealistic person who's been in high school, directly out of high school into college for however many years, and then from that same
with these like at home morals that are taught by like the kid, like let's play house or school.
He's been safe in a public school setting, and you know how that gets. They get super fucking liberal ideas, and then that turns from a liberal idea, and it goes all the way back to the other side, where like if you try to defend a man's right as a feminist, because a true feminist is supposed to be about equality, not being better than the fucking male gender. If you were to say anything out of pocket where a feminist is trying to point that out, like, oh, we're better, they will attack you fucking however it goes and say you're not a true feminist. And like there's women who started that feminist movement back in the 60s and shit who are getting talked shit to by these new era feminists who are trying to, talk all this crazy shit. And it's just those ideals are kept in colleges by people who never left college. They went from college and became a college professor. They never left college.
Yep. As soon as they wrote their dissertation and they got their PhD, they were like, yep, I'm just going to kick it here.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And those people are putting these ideas out there.
But it's not every teacher, though.
No.
Like I have a color theory instructor who actually traveled abroad for like his last remaining 2 years of college. And he married in Japan. He's married into a Japanese family, and they're like one of the last few Japanese pottery artisans in the world from like ancient Japan shit. Like those guys like teach their techniques for down the line for generations and shit. There's an actual head of that family household. He's married into that family. He has dual citizenship. One of the brightest minds that I've ever met in my fucking life, dude. He's a part of a fucking small council of people who get together in like Amsterdam or some shit and they discuss color theory. That's all they fucking do.
But
And-
see, that's great though.
Yeah, it's great. We need more teachers like that, though.
Well, I mean, and I think people like Netta, like she knows. I mean, she might not want to be a teacher, but she knows like the ins and outs of a fucking person's mind right now. Like, what's fucking not gonna work?
Because she's had that real world experience before
'cause
she even
she's
had an
in it.
opportunity to be an adult.
And it's the same thing,
And that's
like,
like
with-
everybody here in the North Side.
Right. But I said that's like the same thing with parenting. Like if you think about how you were as a kid and what you thought when your parents told you something, if you would been explained things differently, would it have made a difference? And you would like to think yes, so you try it, and if it doesn't work, then you try to rethink about it, of what it was like when you were a kid. And I think that shit would work too.
Oh, my bad.
What? I'm just listening to him.
If it would work too, you know. So I think people like Netta or people who've been in this situation or know the hopelessness of their fucking peers could figure out a better way of showing or at least explaining things, because the perspective, the older you get, you know, the better perspective you get, or the better understanding of time you get. Because at 15, that's all I had was 15 years, and that was my life.
Yeah,
That's
and you thought
everything.
you knew like everything. I know because I thought the same fucking shit when I was like 15.
But it's like that every 5 years. I realized I didn't know as much as I thought I did, but you can't explain that to a teenager because they don't have their perspective yet, because they don't know the time. They only know 15 years.
Yeah.
And
That's why, despite like, you know, the reasons why I made the choices I did when I left the city when I turned 18, I'm glad that I made those choices because I got the fuck out of here and I was gone for like 2 years, and I seen some shit and I did some shit and I made a whole bunch of fucking mistakes, and I brought them lessons back home with me and continued to make mistakes. And every fucking, it's not even every 5 years for me, dude. Like every fucking day, I'm like, shit, dude, I'm still fucking learning. I have to keep reminding myself of that shit because
I don't know.
every fucking bad decision is a learning experience.
I think sometimes I just get so busy I don't look up, and when I do, I'm like, holy fuck, this is where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
This is how far I've come. So I mean, and like, not to keep fucking harping on Netta, but you've been through this shit, and you're going to college now.
Yeah.
Yeah, where are you going to college now?
Mankato State.
That's what's up.
Yep.
Yep.
Where are you going to major in?
Forensic anthropology.
Oh, shit.
Well, anthropology to be biological science department.
One of my boys, he's got
It's a mouthful.
he's got an associate's right now from MCTC in was a liberal arts degree, but it's got a heavy emphasis on the African American diaspora and anthropology.
Yeah.
So that's a really good field. I'm proud of you.
That's for fucking anthropology. I kind of wanted to be an anthropologist for a while there.
Anthropology is a really interesting subject.
Yeah.
But jumping back to the whole North Side thing, because this is something I've been wanting to talk to you about for a while now, and I'm glad that like we have this opportunity to like do it on the podcast. But and I'm not gonna try to fucking refer to any names, but I'm pretty certain you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That whole issue that went down with your family with the whole Johnny Northside thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was. I got into a huge argument with him for like days on Google for that shit. It was really fucked up. But it goes back to that whole like, how can you put yourself in a position to try to understand the people who you put this stigma on,
Right.
and you don't like try to like change that
Right.
perspective. Like he was calling them all kinds of like turd burglars and this, that, and the third. And I know your cousin. Like I lived with your cousin. He's a
Right.
genuinely good kid at heart.
Yeah.
You know, like that was all the result of bad decision making based on peer pressure, in my opinion. Because you know, like he would never do no shit like that if it was like us hanging out. Like he would never just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go and steal some shit.
No, it was like the thing with Johnny Northside. I don't really pay no attention to him because it's like you live on the North Side, and if you feel some type of way, why don't you come outside and say it to our faces?
You ever like look at North Van on Facebook?
I know I never look at that because I feel like it's a lot of older people complaining and crying like bitches.
It's a bunch of motherfuckers just like Johnny Northside. I left North Van actually just recently. Fuck those guys. I'm tired of people bitching and moaning and not getting out their house and actually doing some shit. When shit goes down, I do something about it.
And they, I don't even look because it's just like, everybody that's complaining, you have kids that are involved in, or you have kids that were dating. Don't sit there and try to act like your kids were so innocent for ever cause something comes along with it. So I just feel like everyone that died, or everyone that's in it now, my family included, they caused it upon themselves because they keep initiating and keep adding fuel to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
But with Johnny Northside, just kind of feel like it's like a news crew coming to the North Side and saying
It's like an outsider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not even really. Is he even from the North Side, or
I don't know.
Does he just live there? All I know is that he's supposed to be like this superb law student, supposedly, according to him, but like he can't get his fucking bar to save his life.
Yeah.
Like he applied in like Indiana, and Indiana like screenshotted that shit and put it on the internet. Like, this motherfucker can't be a lawyer here. Don't make him be a lawyer anywhere else. Have you seen his blog? That's exactly what they said. We've seen your blog. You are not fit to be a lawyer.
Right.
No, that makes perfect sense.
And he's out here talking mad shit about the injustice. But it's not even like, and I air quoted that, but it's not even, excuse me, it's not even like legit injustice. Like, compared to what's actually happening in the city.
If he's making money off of his blogs or any advertisement or whatever, why doesn't use his opportunity to try to fucking help the neighborhood? You know what I mean? Yeah, how is he trying?
He claims he is through his blog, but he's not. He's just like every motherfucker on North
just
Van.
talking shit. How is that helping anybody?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what opportunities is he offering for change?
None.
Other than talking shit.
He's
about
name
people.
calling.
Exactly.
He's belligerent. He's blatantly racist.
You know. I can't say much about him at all because I don't read his blog. I've read some stuff, and every time I've read it, it's about somebody I've fucking known or I've met.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how have you ever met any of these people other than in a fucking negative manner, like in a confrontational manner? I'm like, no, you don't know anything. So.
Yeah, I flat out told him that shit too. Like, you don't know nothing, man. You just see some shit in the news and you think it's okay to just fucking belittle people. You don't know these people's story. You don't know their life. You don't know what the fuck they went through. You don't know how they were grown up, man. Misinformation breeds more misinformation, and that's what he's failing to realize, is that a lot of these people who are getting into this kind of trouble, they've been misinformed by other people who've been misinformed, who've been, for generations down the line, been misinformed. And he himself is misinformed. And he's out here talking about the wrong shit. Like, if he was truly about the North Side, man, he'd be talking about how crazy these cops are out here, man.
Speaking of what we're talking about, look.
It don't say fuck the...
Terrible.
Well, this was inherited from the people before us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
You should see all the spray paint that's underneath all these posters and shit.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
There's gang stuff
like
all over.
Like this tired ass gun that I really want covered up. Like, I'm really upset that people think guns look like that when they paint them. Just look like a caveman drawing of a pistol.
It looks like a bent over tree with branches that are busted.
You guys follow us on Nuclear Playground on Instagram. I'm gonna take a picture of this bitch tonight and I'm gonna upload this shit so you can see what I'm talking about. It's fucking atrocious.
So, I had a question. What do you think, Netta, what do you think could start some change with these kids?
Are people trying to start change because the neighborhood got bad, or are they trying to start change because to help these boys is the real question?
Yeah.
So it's like, in my personal opinion, I feel like honestly it's too late. These boys are like 19, 20.
Right.
They're stuck in their ways. So it's like, and you didn't give a fuck then. So in their opinion, from me looking at their view, why should you get a fuck now? And now they're to the point now, like, I don't care about none of y'all.
I feel like people do change though, because I was kind of on like a fuck the world mode when I left this bitch when I was 18, and I kind of stayed that way until I was like 28.
You got older though.
Yeah, I got older and I changed quick as fuck.
Yeah. Let's see your perspective though, because when you're 19, your life, when you double your life as a teenager, you're like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I made it past being a teenager. I didn't even realize that I'm fucking 30 now, and this or that, or I'm in my late 20s. Like, okay, I made it past this whole fucking teenager shit. I'm like supposed to be an adult now. What am I supposed to be doing with myself? Like, how is this helping me?
Yeah.
Like, because, okay, were you going to continue? Like, what if you do continue to survive at 40 and you
Right.
make it to 50 and this and that? Like, what's going to fucking happen with you? You going to be a fucking bum, or what the fuck you want with your life?
Yeah, I think a thing people really make mistakes is comparing, like throughout like the time that you were as a teenager is different from the time that we are teenagers now.
Mm-hmm.
Like time, technology, school wise, everything has changed.
But teenagers are still the same when they're teenagers. Just because the environment around them is different doesn't mean that teenagers psychologically are different.
Yeah, we're same in different ways, but we all handle things. That's like for me to say me and my best friend is the same. We're both teenagers, but I'm going off to college. She doesn't know how to keep a job, and she hasn't got a GED. Nothing. She's nothing about high school.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we can have certain things in common, but at the same time, if you add a lot of these boys on top of mental stress, emotional stress, probably some of them have post-traumatic stress from things that they've dealt with, of parents, friends dying, gun violence, being
everything.
put down because of their age. That does not help a person. Just be like, oh, you're 15, you don't understand. Like, you're not helping me at all. Trying to
Well, you know, a lot of that
situation.
stuff that you listed actually happened when we were growing up too. But the only thing that was different was that not everybody had a cell phone.
And everything is instant, though. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, everything is instant. You can get instant gratification from everything. So you got no fucking patience. I've noticed kids got none.
But that comes from the people who are raising them, though. Like,
Well, yeah, but who are raising them?
people with no patience. That's
our
our
age and older.
generation. Like, yeah.
That's like fucked up, man.
But no, I'm not saying like there's a big time difference, but like it's like scientific proof that different, like my mom's generation compared to my generation.
Oh, yeah, it's a big
Mm.
deal.
Or our generation compared to your generation, there is a huge difference.
Yeah.
And it's like
Because there's different things that were going on.
exactly, and
I'm
it's
trying to
like
remember how much older your mom is than I
my
am.
mom
We're
is
pissed off
36.
on our broken
Oh,
promises.
yeah, sorry. Me and your mom are like the same age.
Because when we were in school, we were told that all these jobs are going to be fucking waiting for us and all this good shit was going to be good if we just worked hard. And
Yeah.
when we get to fucking 2000s, we ain't got no flying cars. We don't got
Nothing.
no fucking health
No
insurance.
moving sidewalk like on the Jetsons.
No fucking health
I
insurance.
got no motherfucking talking dog.
All
Like
this fucked up shit.
I kind of feel like my generation could be very more brutal compared to you guys, is because with you guys' generation, it was family bonded. You know, it was like certain things were moved certain way
Well, there
for
was
money.
also like that we had like extended families
Yeah,
too.
no, like gang wise.
Yeah,
your
yeah,
generation
yeah.
was more, they trafficked the drugs, they made sure like certain things didn't happen, made sure that other rivals didn't come in, like Chicago. The big problem with Chicago, the big violence, is that other places or other cities are trying to run and conquer like other little places in there.
For example, the motherfuckers are trying to turn this shit into little Chicago.
And I wouldn't even say they're trying to turn into little Chicago, because all of these boys I literally went to school with. We all were either born here or came up here at a young age. They all did.
What about their family?
Like, their family, they're from Chicago, but that still, it does have influence, but at the same time, it's not like they just came out of Chicago at 16, like, whoop,
Right,
whoop,
right, right.
No, like, we were all raised together. We all knew each other. We all took the youth bus from Falwell. It went from right there all the way to the Lowe's. Right there on Penn by the, what is that?
Over there by Olson? Like
Yeah.
the highway and shit?
Yeah, but it's by the police station. So
Oh,
it went,
Okay, like Plymouth?
yeah,
That area?
it went from all the way from Falwell, went to like different parks, and you went to churches. They stopped at the library right there. Everybody was integrated at that time. And at that time, I was living with my cousin that passed away, so we all met the same people. But it was like, I just kind of feel like my generation gave up the fastest.
I feel like your generation has a lot. So I feel like a lot of people in your generation have something to prove.
Yeah.
And that's just because, like, okay, and it might be. Can we count the kids in like the last like 7 years part? Because I mean, like, if somebody was like Netta's age 7 years ago, is that the same generation?
No.
No, I wouldn't say so. I think the times have changed so fast.
Okay,
you
so
want to
like
go 5 years.
cats that
now,
are like
dude, you know
cats
what
that
I
are like
mean?
Ray's age, right?
Yeah.
Ray's not that much older than Netta though. But I know that there had to have been like no older than Ray, because like every time I've been held up at gunpoint, it's usually been like teenagers, and it was usually in like
when we were
huge ass fucking groups. And
it's never been an adult.
the only time I've been robbed by like 1 or 2 people they were cats that are like my age. It was the first time I got robbed was when I came back from Hawaii, and that was about like a 45-year-old crackhead.
I've never gotten robbed.
And I was hanging out with your cousin at the time. We were chilling over on 36th and Penn, where half the crew used to kick it at and shit. And me and your cousin were like, let's go fucking talk to this dude. He wants to fucking talk about buying a little bit of weed off you, Sprout. And I was like, all right, bet, whatever, because I had a little bit of weed on me. And so this is so fucking long ago, but we went up in the cut, up in the alley, and he was like, all right, let's go get my money from over here. And I was young and fucking naive, so I was like, whatever, let's go. And we went around the corner, and he pulled out a gun. I was like, give me your wallet. And I was like, fine, whatever, I got $30. You can have the money. I'm keeping the wallet, though, because it was all like animated out and shit. I was like, I ain't giving this shit up. That motherfucker wanted some shit. He was hungry, he was thirsty, he wanted some shit. For some reason, he wasn't trying to prove nothing to nobody. Same thing with the two dudes the second time I got robbed. Them niggas was my age. They weren't trying to impress nobody. It was 5 a.m. But any other time, it's been like...
You wanted some...
It's been like cats who would have been at that time.
If he was that hungry, he could have stood out on the corner. I think he wanted something.
But at any other time, it's been cats that are literally Ray's age. So, like, it would have been Ray as a teenager at the time if it would have been him in that group. But, like, not him. But anyways, you get the point. Yeah. The niggas got something to prove. Like, and I don't know what the fuck it is.
Well,
but they need to get over that shit.
The generation before them. Like, what did they have? Motherfuckers had empires. Everybody wants an empire. They want their own shit now, I think there's too many fucking cowboys,
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten worse and worse. Back in the day, it's just like the mob. The mob was super organized, but everybody started doing their own little sections of this, sections of that.
Well, back in the day, gangs were super organized and shit.
Well, that's what happens. Things got oversaturated, and then everybody wanted their own fucking thing. And now, I can't speak for street gangs, but as far as the mob goes and Mexican gangs and shit, it's like, that's the problem. There's just way too fucking many different ideas going on, too many different gangs. There's so many gangs in one set. I think that's just the
problem with people in general.
Flying under one flag, they're fighting each other. Like, they may all be like fucking like G or Crip or whatever, but they're like G fucking, Block 600. Or,
like, remember back when we were growing up and there was like 15 different kind of vice lords and shit?
Yeah, like 20 different sets. I remember all of that. It was crazy. And everybody was beefing. And they were beefing with each other.
For no fucking reason.
But back then what they beefed over was money and territory. Now, it's not over money and territory. Now it's just over feelings.
It's over stupid shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say stupid shit, because that would be an insult towards them, because they're really fighting before they're...
What kind of feelings? I mean, like, who's really that butt stressed where you gotta fucking go out and kill somebody or, like, steal somebody's shit or do whatever? Like,
but at the same time, so, like, what you're saying is you gotta take your mind out the state of you're a citizen that lives in this area. You gotta put your mind in the state of a teenage boy that's about 17.
Mm-hmm.
He's never killed nobody. He's never did anything. But all his friends are gangbangers.
Mm-hmm.
He's straight A student, all of that. And he comes home one day, and his mom tells him his best friend is killed.
Mm-hmm.
His automatic response is, who did it? Once he says that, no one is going to stop him from going to get his revenge. And it's a repeating cycle. Like I said, like, it's not over some, the way it started, it didn't start with my generation. It actually started with the generation that's about 25, 26. And they led my generation into this. And now they feel bad because all of the boys that they brought into this are dying. And it's like, they're telling them to stop, but how can you tell me to stop when you're the one that put me in this? Now I'm to the point where my mind has developed to the point that I don't care about nothing. All I care about is getting my revenge and making sure all these people that claim under this dies. Because I'm hurt. Because of some shit that could have been prevented if society didn't fail us as people.
I think the parents fucking failed to teach them how to fucking deal with their emotions properly.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's why I asked that question. Like, there's no way that I would be hurt that much where I want to... And I've threatened to do some shit before because I was that emotional But like I've never once in my life actually carried that shit out. I don't think I could. Like it just doesn't exist in my mind. I don't know if I can be consumed by vengeance like that.
I'm sorry, if my brother was killed,
but
Netta would be most definitely be out here whacking somebody, because I most definitely am not going to sit and walk around and wait for the police to do their job when they don't do their job.
Though, when you're a kid and shit's going down, you know, the way you act is accordingly. You're praised for that fucking behavior. But when people try to take that shit back, like you were saying, those 26-year-olds were teaching these kids that that's the appropriate fucking behavior. And now that shit's gone so far, it's kind of like, well, they fucking learned it from you.
It is a learned behavior.
Yeah, and that's a wiring.
When we lived in Fridley,
fucking brain has been wired. Like, you know, as far as neurons are made up, these are the responses that are fucking built in as a reaction. Just kind of like when you're fucking fighting or you're boxing, the more you train, the more you've been in these things, you don't think about the shit. You just fucking do it.
I kind of feel that way, though. I feel like people shouldn't have too much to say about inner city gangs because, in my opinion, the Army itself is a gang.
I usually don't have much to say about nothing. I just don't get it.
Because it's like, if someone over in the Eastern's come and bomb us, oh, we gotta go bomb them because they bombed us. It's just like, if someone comes and shoots them, then we gotta shoot them back.
North Korea had bombed South Korea, and South Korea got pissed, and they didn't do nothing, but they really could have. In that very instance, there could have been a war right there. This was just like back in 2005 or 6, they bombed South Korea, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And North Korea was like, "Well, they did it first, but they didn't do shit." You know what I'm saying? Like. But that's like the attitude that they carry. Is like they genuinely think that South Korea was out there fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? So like, there was a point I was trying to fucking get to. People just react for like no fucking reason without even thinking about the shit. And that's the thing that I don't get. And it's not just like gang violence. It's just people in general. Like, it just that's the part of like, especially with like the inner city shit, that I don't understand, because as a community of people that's predominantly black in this area, you know what I'm saying, like, especially with what's going on now, like, the last thing that should be happening is what's actually happening. And you know, and that's why I don't get the whole vengeance and street justice thing, or like retaliation in general. Like, I get it like, if say Sharm punched my ass, like, if I didn't know him from a can of paint and he just walked up like, "Sup, nigga," and he just punched my ass, oh, we're fighting. Yeah. We're fighting right then and there, but I have to defend myself. I'm not just going to let somebody fucking rock my ass. But, like, if somebody... Because I have a brother who got killed. And despite everything that I felt in my heart, because I really wanted that dude dead. Like, I was like, I hope he gets fucking put in prison for life. He should just fucking be under the prison. Right. They give him manslaughter. He's probably out now. But in my heart of hearts, I don't think I could ever bring myself to fucking track him down and do nothing to him.
It's like kind of like, you seem like a very caring and opening person, you know? So it's like, the way that you are and the way that they are as people are two different ways. Like, you're more, you can look, like, I can look past it, but if it was my brother, just because that's just my first reaction is like, I lost my whole world, and everybody knows how close I am with my brother. But it's like, with these boys, they didn't have the time to enlighten themselves. I mean, you have to like think about how long the beef has been going on. It ain't been going on for like the last couple years. People been killed. It's been going on for 10, 15 years. You got to think about what goes on in the school system. You have to think about what goes on inside the parents' house. You got to think about the grandparents, the great-grandparents. You have to take all of this into account, because they didn't just come out of nowhere like, oh, I'm just going to shoot stuff up. You have to take everybody into account, even though they themselves can get out of that situation, but everyone knows that it's hard to leave a certain mind state. Especially as a teenager. You think you're right. You think what you're doing is correct.
I don't want to sound fucking retarded, but I would love to get every single one of these kids, like, separated from each other and in a completely different setting and environment, and dose the fuck out of them with some mushrooms.
What?
Why?
Well,
like, is it you talking about like an ayahuasca kind of thing?
No. Well, yeah, in a way, like, where they don't have to fear their fucking environment, or they don't have to worry about their friends, because their friends are also in a safe fucking place and being taken care of for the moment. And that way they have the fucking time to think
And reflect and shit.
reflect on all this shit. And the mushrooms will eat you from your deepest fear. And if you don't have the devices to hurt yourself, and you're in an environment that's still safe, but that's stimulating all at the same time, like out in nature, I think maybe it would give them a psychological boost. Maybe even if it's just a fucking week for a change of perspective, or a day.
Yeah.
They might be able to get them to think otherwise. I mean, because everybody would be through this whole thing. And if anybody who's been through that shit, like, if you get dosed with that shit, you're not gonna fucking tell your friends, oh, I took it like a fucking... No, you did not.
No, you did not.
There's no fucking way, because you probably would have pissed all over yourself, or whatever the fuck happens to you, you know? All your friends been through it. All your friends know. I mean, this is a highly unrealistic and a highly crazy, you know...
Right.
Whatever.
Like, it probably would never happen.
It probably would never
theory,
even work. But the idea alone is just something to shock and awe. I mean, I think if the end of the world was happening, everybody would go crazy. But if okay, perfect example, there was still motherfuckers getting murked left and right. Just not as much before 9/11, but right after 9/11, that shit stopped. Even in the fucking cities in the hood, New York, LA, everywhere, they just stopped fucking killing each other for a while. Everybody was cool because they all were fucking of this one mind, like, fuck these motherfuckers, or you know, somebody just stole on us, you know.
Yeah.
Or they all had this fucking hive mentality. They all had a single mind, or a single enemy, or a single purpose. They all got hurt, and it made peace in America for a short period of time. But, I mean, that shit went away.
Yeah.
It all wears off.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, if it stops what's going on for a year or two, enough for people to change, I mean, who knows?
I mean, all they do is send the boys to prison.
Exactly. But they're not trying to do anything to help them.
No, they send them. At 15, they get sent to prison.
Well, you know,
where they get taught how to be better criminals.
You know, private prisons are built based on the number of students who are suspended and expelled and shit in like the 4th and 5th grade.
They already
or is it 5th and 6th? One of those.
Yeah.
One of those areas. But yeah.
But my honest opinion is, if everyone wants to know what the problem is with what's going on now and wants to know how to help, look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, that's like me going around telling people to do stuff when I didn't have a GED. Like, you need to go get your GED. They're like, you don't have your GED, so why would I listen to you? Like, why would I listen to this is like this. Why would I listen to you, mom or dad, when you were ex-gangbangers, you sold drugs, you did this, you did that, you didn't graduate high school.
You know, sometimes this is out of fucking concern. Like, okay,
It's a
for example,
struggle,
my mom had me when she was 16.
Right.
And when I turned 16, my mom looked me dead in the face and said, don't have no kids till you're 30.
Mm-hmm.
I fell 5 years short of that. And I'm not upset about it, but, like, I was really trying hard not to. And, you know, like, that was because, you know, my mom knows that sometimes you have to fucking learn from your mistakes and teach them to your children. So if I spend my whole life without my GED or, like, no college experience at all, and I'm telling my son, you need to graduate high school and go to college, it's because I want him to do better than I did.
Yeah.
But exactly,
You know,
but as a teenager, your mind is not, oh, well, because you didn't do it, you want me. No, it's...
Oh, no, I totally get it, because I used to question my mom's motives all the time.
You also got to think, like, if it's a continuous mistake. I mean, if it was a mistake that was made just because, okay, it was a struggle for your mom to raise kids her whole life and everything, but that's something that she did when she was younger, and she changed her behavior accordingly to try to make this shit work. Whereas some people's parents didn't try to make shit work, or they didn't fucking say anything, or they didn't do a well enough fucking job, or, you know, or they weren't there as much as they should have been, and then they're trying to tell you something. It's a totally different fucking dynamic. It's like, how are you gonna tell me something when you're continuously still fucking up?
Exactly.
And trying to be a role model.
I didn't really have it like that serious, but, like, I mean, you know, everybody's a rebellious teenager at one point in time in their life, dude. They're always going to question what their parents are fucking telling them.
My dad was go out and get it and do it, and that's what I had to fucking do, is fucking just do it, and that's the best way I fucking had to do it, was get off my ass and fucking... I worked with my dad. I had to fucking do all these manual labor. I got landscape jobs. I worked for an old man doing concrete. It fucking sucked balls for a summer. It was terrible. I got terrible pay. But I kept doing all this shit, and after a while, I knew people who needed some work done. I would do jobs for them.
Yeah.
And then word of mouth, and the next thing you know, if I focus and zone in on what I'm doing, I'd do a fucking perfectionist job. Word of mouth, motherfuckers come back to me, and here I am working whenever I can, getting paid decent.
I just think that people don't take accountability to what they provide and what they give to society. People seem to think that things that you do don't affect other people's lives, and it's like everything you do affects someone's lives, and
I totally
everyone
agree.
turns around like, whoa, well, what happened? Like, okay, think about the years that we lived and think about all the times that, we're going through a lot. We went through a lot of shit as kids and growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we went through the depression. We still are. And it's like, at that time, all of our parents lost their jobs. So what do you think they went back to doing?
Right.
So it's like, at that time, none of us was being taken care of by parents. All of us was at grandma and granddad's house or out with friends and doing stuff. So it's like, people...
That's kind of how I know you.
Yeah, so it's like people take accountability, need to think about, why is he still barking?
He's just lonely. He's fine.
There's a door open. That's why.
Oh,
The door is open.
he wants to get out.
Yeah. When the door's open, he'll bark at the door until somebody lets him out.
But I
The
think
is closed down.
a lot of people feel like once people become teenage, they don't require the things that they needed at first when they first started. Like, a lot of parents fall back from their kids when they become teenagers.
Right, because they feel like they don't have to take care of them as much.
Yeah.
It's just self-sustainable.
And it's like, when you're a teenager, your hormones come in. So you're looking for advice, looking for guidance, looking for this. And a lot of people find advice and guidance in the wrong areas.
Right. I think, see, here's what I wanted to do. Some people poo-pooed my idea, but I wanted to start, like, not to be a misogynist, but like a man's club, like teaching boys how to do, like, fucking make anything they want, do anything they want, be as creative.
Just be the man they want to be. We had this conversation in the car that one day. Yeah, I totally agree with it.
How do they know the man that they want to be if they don't even know if that man exists?
Well, that's
they just need to find
that's what
that
the
you
point
just need to
of it.
open widen their perspective a little bit, and then
show them everything that they can fucking and then if they take to these things, that's the thing, they don't know about them, so how the fuck can they if they're showing them?
Right.
Maybe they fucking might like this thing.
You know how, like, when they picked, like, the next Dalai Lama? Because he's supposed to be, like, the reincarnation of, like, the previous one. So he has, like, there's, like, 3 things, right? There's, like, a toy, and, like, his glasses, and, like, some other shit. I'm probably not even dead on with these things, but it's usually, like, 3 things. And, like, if he's familiar with these 3 things as a child, then, like, he's, like, supposed to be him, right? It's kind of like the same concept, but not really. Because now you're saying, here's, like, 25 different things. Like, here's, like, 1,000 different things.
Yeah.
Like, the possibilities can be limitless. But you keep exposing them to different things. And eventually they'll latch onto one thing. And that'll be, like, the one thing that they can fucking grow and develop into being.
Yeah.
That's just like, okay, if you know some kids and they like fucking fighting, they like to beat the shit out of everybody, or they like to get into fights, that could be a tool used to, like, okay, you train a kid to fight. But if you put him in a competition with other people who train, he might get his ass kicked. Or he might win, but he might get his ass kicked because of the nutrition or because of this. And this kid wants to develop more. So what's he start doing? He starts taking care of his body more. Then he starts to think about other ways to get up a little higher. So he starts thinking about nutrition. And then all these roads lead to somewhere else. The next thing you know, he's branched out to so many different things that he's learned all these different things to be the best fucking murderer he can be, that he's expanding his mind, and it's no longer just about being the best murderer, but being the best physical specimen he could be.
Right.
And, but it started off as him just wanting to kick people's asses. And I see that a lot with these MMA guys. Like, they get into it because best way to make money is get into a fight, beat the fuck out of somebody, and get paid. Like, come on. How the hell can you,
Right.
That's fucking gold. So, but it starts there, and eventually it goes elsewhere. But that can go with anything. You know? Like, if somebody wants to make beats, you gotta teach them how to use software.
Right.
Or if they want to learn how to make a studio, they gotta learn how to fucking stop sound. They gotta learn how to do all these things. And
or if they want to learn how to like animate or draw or paint in general or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
they
want to play an instrument, or they want to fucking work on cars, or they want to.
Then those are good things. There's a lot of schools that do instruments. Like a lot of schools I went to were like they had studios and stuff. I think that's pretty cool and stuff because you get to do what you love, but that kind of takes like in my opinion. Everyone wants to be a rapper. All girls want to be nurses. All girls want to be CNAs, aren't and it's like that's kind of the options that you're given in high school. Because when people come from college,
that's what we're trying to break. Be whatever the fuck you want to be, dude. Like you want to be a nurse, be a fucking nurse. You want to fucking be
lead by example. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I can show motherfuckers like, okay, Earl, he might not be a good example, but Earl's made money doing shit that I've done.
Yeah.
And whenever he's hard up and he can't make money nickel and diming it, he fucking will fall back on a paint job or doing something like this. And the more he does, the better he gets.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just like that. Like, when we know Earl, he's not the brightest motherfucker there is.
No, because Gucci Man told him to do it.
Yeah.
Bert.
but you know what I mean. It's just he was exposed to something when he was younger, and somebody gave him an idea, and his dad. But that's the thing. There's no fucking father figures, and that's the whole point of this men's group that I would like to do, is get involved with some of these kids and see what else they can do, because they're only exposed to so much, so they only want so much.
Right.
That's why I kick it with a lot of younger cats, because I want to show them that there are different options outside of what they're currently doing. You know what I'm saying?
But like I said, it's exposing them to them. They don't get a lot of exposure today.
Yeah. I think people should stop trying so hard to judge and understand, because you'll never understand something that you're not in. So they should try more to come to terms with things and see what they can do to make a difference. Because at the end of the day, as much as we try, we can't do too much if there's no one else involved.
Mm-hmm.
It's like us four can all come together and do something, but if the community's not putting in and trying along with us, then it's just like we're just trying, and pretty soon, like, no one's putting the word out or saying or anything. It's like these men that come on to the bus, they're called Mad Dads.
Mm-hmm.
And they give out...
Oh, they made me late to work? They wanted to hold up, like, the whole 19, though.
They give out, like, they ask if anyone needs job applications, if anyone's looking for a job, if anyone's
I respect
homeless,
that shit, though.
All of that. And it's just like, no one ever steps out of their own comfort zone to be like, I want to support Mad Dads.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin, before he moved out to Chicago, he was totally with Mad Dads.
Yeah.
And I love Mad Dads, man. Like, I wish I myself had more time to get more involved with them, because I respect the shit that they do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like, they'll have to, like, hold up the bus for a little bit because, like, they'll have to, like, tell some dude to shut up cussing or some shit like that, and that dude wants to get belligerent. So I'm not going to blame Mad Dads for, making people late sometimes, because it's not really their fault. They're just trying to do people right. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, man, we need more stuff like that across, like, the entire country, not even just here. Like,
I think there's a lot of little things going on, but I think if we continue... with all of these small things,
all these small things need to become one big thing.
Not just like this men's group, but I also like these community gardens that these people are doing, because I've seen little neighborhood kids. I mean, it might be too late for these teenagers, but I see like 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 9-year-olds.
I don't think it's too late for these teenagers.
No, I mean, like, they might feel like it's too late. You know what I mean? As a teenager,
right?
Because where their mind is, everything is. At the moment, you know how everything is when you're a teenager. It's fucking the world to you, because it is.
Right. I'm pretty sure, though, a lot of these kids suffer from depression and all of this. And it's just like, everyone knows what depression feels like. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but in black families, if you're depressed, you're white.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's another thing. If you get depressed, they'll fucking dog you. Or, being outside... It's almost like Japan. If you're the fucking nail that sticks out,
you get hammered down. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's that whole thing, too. But, like I said, the neighborhood gardens, I see these little kids all from all around their neighborhood, and they're not white kids. I don't see any white kids out
Yeah.
there with these people doing these neighborhood
Yeah.
gardens, and that's fucking. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
These kids are learning some shit.
Well, it's because as kids, you want to do whatever the hell you can
Yeah.
to get dirty.
Yeah, exactly. And they're fucking getting food out of the deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and these kids are hungry. They're not getting good fucking food. They're getting
Yeah.
gas station corner food. Bring it all the way back to the beginning of the podcast.
I
You know?
just, I just
The shit food.
see like what the news show is different from what I fully see.
Yeah.
Like they show these group of teenagers that do this, but they don't show all of these teenagers that are
Doing it.
going off to fucking college.
Right.
Every kid I know damn near went to college. Whether it was a technical college or a university, or they were smart enough to go to college but made wrong decisions.
Yeah.
And it's like no one wants to post about all like the upning and kids going to college, you know, urban kids going to college in Minnesota. They want to post about the death rates
Right.
and compare everything to Chicago. Nobody wants to be like Chicago. Nobody here comes here like, I'm going to turn this into Chicago. No, they come up here set in their own ways, just like everybody here is set in their own ways. There's violence everywhere. No matter where you go, you're going to find the same people if you look for the same people.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's life. And it's like, it's life. Humans kill humans.
Mm-hmm.
It's life. But it's like...
It has been going on for centuries. It's probably not going to stop, which is a sad truth.
No, but there's things you can do to change your neighborhood. I mean,
Exactly.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
and
Most
change
definitely.
things.
I'm trying to be part of the active change.
Because I mean,
That's why I
at
hang
one
my
point
signs.
there wasn't all of this killing, so you know what I
Yeah.
mean. I mean, it just evolved to this point, and
I mean, I know a lot of people that died over the years. Me and my mom, from older than me to younger than me, you know. But I feel like it never stopped.
Yeah.
Because it's probably because it's so close to home. But I feel like it never stopped. I feel like I'm so used to it happening. It's like, okay, what are y'all crying about? Like, how long has the North Side been bad? Like, you feel like it got better, but you're not personally involved in any of this.
Right.
One shooting, one killing can disrupt the whole family. Just because it's not enough to get your attention, it's like, what?
And then when the shootings do happen, the people who complain about it, it's not like they even feel like any kind of like sympathy for the families it affects.
Right.
They're just like, oh, people are shooting again. I can't sleep. Oh my god, I have to get up at like 7:30 in the morning. I have to drink so much espresso tomorrow.
I'd be
now."
knocked out.
it's bad.
This is real shit, man. Go to North Van on Facebook. I swear to fucking God.
Well-
I swear to fucking God. It's the reason why I had to leave that shit. Because every fucking day, my phone would be like, so-and-so likes a post in North Van. And I look and it's like, oh my gosh, I had to call the police because the people next door were fighting. But you don't even know why they were fighting. You don't even know what the fuck happened. For all you know, some lady could have been getting her ass beat by her husband, and you're fucking complaining about the shit.
Like,
In fact, there was a post about the shit where it was like, oh my gosh, I had to call the police, and it turns out it was a domestic abuse situation, and this motherfucker's on Facebook complaining about the shit instead of being like, you know what, I helped a person today.
Right.
good for you. I would make fun of you if you said I helped the person today. I'm like, you want some fucking Fiji water, Sprout?
Let me put my nose in the air as I fucking grab it from.
No, I just feel like my personal opinion is, now I'm to the point with all of this. It's just like,
Yo, these marshmallows are fine as
let
fuck.
them do they just gonna kill each other. There you go. I don't know what to tell y'all, but I've tried to get through to them, and I've known them all my life, and they just don't listen. And
They'll learn. Everybody learns. And if they don't, they Darwin themselves out.
but
I guess that's true.
I feel like everybody faces their own struggles internally.
Yeah. And I think it's a constant battle for a lot of people, like myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like
For everybody.
Yeah, I think.
Change is a constant fucking uphill battle, dude. Like, it's real hard to maintain the person I am, and I'm not even anywhere near close to perfect. I'm like 10,000 light years away from perfect. I guess it's never gonna fucking happen. But I'd like to be better than where I am today.
I like to.
And I feel like I'm definitely better than where I was like 7 years ago.
Right.
So,
I don't know. You were way cooler 7 years ago. No.
dude, 7 years ago, I
just
was
fucking with you.
blackout drunk peeing on my carpet.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you were pretty cool, man. I thought that was the cool Sprout. No, I'm just kidding.
But
I'm actually glad you're past the pissing all over the place stage. And
I had to fucking go through a massive change, man, and I haven't looked back since, dude. Like, it's...
yeah,
Like, I might have fucking picked up some old habits, but my mentality's still the same. You know, I have to give a fuck about people, and I have to give a fuck about my surroundings, because if I don't, who will?
well, we know one thing at the end of this podcast, that change is either good or bad, but no matter what, it's constant. So things might get worse, things might get better.
Oh, yeah, totally.
We'll hope for the best and do what we can. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting kind of tired. So
Yeah, I've been needing to pee for like the last 30 minutes.
all right, so let's wrap this up. It's nice talking with you, Netta.
It was very enjoyable having you here.
yeah, I do.
I had fun sharing marshmallows with you.
I do my little interviews. I need to be paid for this though.
Do you have a
There's
Twitter?
the marshmallows right
Or,
there.
anything
want
that you can
human
be
beings.
followed on?
No, you
wanna
well,
make a
I'm
plug?
sorry.
Oh,
You got a Facebook you want to plug, or Twitter or anything?
You got a
You're
Tumblr
interested in
account?
sharing anything?
Where you be uploading your writing to?
the government's trying to watch me. I can't tell you all of that.
Okay, well. All right, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast.
Thanks once again for tuning in.
And we'll talk to you later.
Deuces.